I start with my favorite joke. It may seem to you that it is a joke about blowjob, but no. This is a joke about Polish philology. You know, in Poland, they call blowjob lody. Also in Poland, lody means ice cream. And I have two explanations. Either they in Poland have really awful ice cream, or really tasty dicks. So, and now you understand what will be going on here. So do you know what is Maslow hierarchy of need? This pyramid, you know. So you know that on the bottom there are the most important human needs, like something people cannot live without, like food, sleep, sex, Wi-Fi. Yeah? You agree?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that you're listening. Of course, there is no Wi-Fi there. Of course. But sex is definitely there. I checked. So I don't understand why when my mom calls me, she asks me have I slept, asks me have I eaten, and never ask me have I fucked. At least she could ask me have I masturbated. But no! I start to think she doesn't love me. And you know, my parents never told me about sex. I didn't even heard the word sex from them. Okay, I heard them doing it, but saying, never. For my parents, sex is like Lord Voldemort. He who must not be named. But I don't understand. What will happen if you name it? Like Avada Kedavra? Or syphilis in your nose will go? So, my parents never told me what sex is. And now, those people ask me, where are our grandchildren? And how I supposed to know? Where are your grandchildren? Maybe somewhere in cabbage. Ask stork. I don't know. And my mom says, all your classmates already have kids. And this is the same person who told me, and if everybody jumped from the roof. And you know, it's not enough just to give a birth to a child. You're supposed to raise it. Yeah. And my parents raised me very well. But unfortunately, I cannot raise my children the same way. Because it's forbidden by law. Children's abuse. Yeah. But I don't blame my parents. It's now we have a lot of books, videos about how to raise children. All my parents have is those brochures that Jehovah's Witnesses distributed. And there my parents read that you need to forbid your children to read Harry Potter. Because magic is a sin, because children who read Harry Potter start to play in wizards and witches. What a nightmare. Better let them read Bible, and they will play crucifixion, human sacrifice, incest. It's much more fun, yeah? And it's strange that I wasn't forbidden to watch Charmed. But you cannot read Harry Potter, because there's supposed to be only one boy who survived. And while my friends was reading Harry Potter and waiting for the Hogwarts letters, I was reading Bible and waiting for second coming. And you know, actually in Bible there are a lot of interesting stories. Like those one story about righteous who loved God very much. But devil said to God, he loves you only because you gave him health and wealth. And God, to prove it wrong, took all his money, killed his children, and sent him terrible diseases. I read it and think, so God is so easy to manipulate? Well, my self-esteem is not bad. And at that moment I realized that all my childhood I prayed wrong way. Because I prayed, God, dear God, please make Misha from second grade like me. I was in 10th grade, of course. But I should pray. So, God, I bet you cannot make me a computer. And you know, when you're a little child, all grown-ups ask you, who do you want to become when you grow up? And I was a smart kid, so I told them what they wanted to hear. For mom and dad, I wanted to be a teacher. For my grandma, I wanted to be a nun. For my grandpa, I wanted to be like him. An alcoholic. But I have a dream. I wanted to become a bus driver. I wanted to be a bus driver because I wanted people listen to music that I choose. And I told about to my friend, and he said, so you wanted everybody listen to sad songs about suicide? He's not my friend anymore. He doesn't even know what music I like. Actually, I listen to happy songs about suicide. And recently I was asked, am I a feminist? And I was so confused. I didn't know what to say. I just stood there and think, who the fuck am I? Because I don't know if I can call myself a feminist. Because all I do for women's rights is try not to laugh on sexist jokes. And not always successfully. Really. For me, feminism is like football. I don't know much about it, but I am really happy when our team wins. No, but real feminists, they fight for their rights. A real feminist never let call her a manager, because she is managerka. For foreigners, you know, in Ukrainian there are feminine forms of like actor, actress, but for all professions and occupations. And Ukrainians often argue about should or shouldn't we use them. Because apparently we haven't enough topic to argue. And we are not progressive enough to argue about what is the definition of woman. So feminists demand everybody calls them about feminine forms. But for me, it doesn't matter how they call me. A comedian, or go down from the stage. doesn't matter. But you know, it makes me angry when one man calls another man hysterichka. Like it's feminine form of hysteric. It's like only women can be hysteric. But have you seen a man whose computer crashed when he was winning the game? You can hear his tantrum from another city. So, I don't want to fight for feminine forms, but I want to fight for masculine forms of all bad words. Really. Because why word slut in Ukrainian only have feminine form shlucha? I want it to have some masculine forms like shluch, shluchan, maybe shluchuy. So why only women can be sluts? Why, if man change his partners more often than his socks, he's macho? And in this topic there is always someone male usually, who says something like, the key which could open many different locks is a good key. But the lock, which could be opened by many different keys, is a slut. Yeah. And you know what I wanted to say to these fucking philosophers? A key which could open many different locks, it's master key. It used mostly by criminals. And if you put your average key in many different locks, you will break it. And every smart person have more than one key that open one lock. Everybody have a spare key, yeah? And if you lose your key, the lock still doing his job. Yeah. And if you love analogy so much, a socket in which you insert many different plugs is a good socket. And you know, you can insert more than one plug in one socket in the same time. I have seen one video. It's all for me, thank you.